Hello, again, this is Robert Doble, attorney with evicttenantsla.com. As we're approaching the holidays or the holidays have recently passed, I want to talk to you about the new laws for 2025 regarding evictions in California. So you may not know this, but Governor Newsom signed about 60 different bills changing landlord-tenant law. I'd just like to talk to you about a few of them that affect unlawful detainer actions, or what you may call eviction actions. Number one, so right now, at least in 2024, the tenant had 5 court days to answer a complaint. Okay, that's when you serve them with the lawsuit, the eviction lawsuit. In 2025, the tenant will have 10 court days. That increases it a lot. So it doesn't include weekends and holidays. Okay, that's very important. That increases the amount of time they have. Because before it was, almost 1 week. Now it's over 2. Okay, so that's very important. And at evicttenantsla.com, we can help you get something served very quickly. We have a lot of process servers, so you don't have to wait for the sheriff to do it if you don't want to. And we can help you get an eviction much quicker if you visit us at evicttenantsla.com. So the other issue I want to talk to people about is what's called a demur. What is that? Now that's an objection to a complaint. So for example, I've talked to you a lot about 3-day notices, where there's something wrong in the notice. For example, you forget to put the new law that judicial holidays and weekends don't count for the 3-day notice. What can happen is the defense counsel files what's called a demur, or sort of an objection to your complaint, saying the landlord didn't follow the law. They didn't get an attorney. They don't know the new law that weekends and holidays don't count. So they used to be able to file this, and the courts would set them, 30, 45 days out and waste a lot of time. Well, the new law is saying something different. It has to be between 5 to 7 court days. The court can extend it under this new law for 2025, but they have to have what's called good cause. And that's something we can get into when you visit us at evicttenantsla.com and come and talk to one of the attorneys at the office. Okay, and again, all these new laws, it's very hard for landlords to follow all this. So that's why it's important to talk to an attorney at evicttenantsla.com. This will some of it will increase the amount of time for an eviction. Obviously, the 10 days will increase that. But what will heavily reduce that is the amount of time for these objections, or what's called demurs in California, that when the hearing must take place. In other words, when you must go to court. It's going to be a new law, so there's going to be some adjustment in LA County, because some courts don't have the time for 5 to 7 days. So I know there's going to be some issues coming up that attorneys are going to have to deal with, and trying to deal with it on your own is not going to be easy. It's so important to get an attorney. And the attorneys here at evicttenantsla.com, we don't have appearance attorneys. In other words, the attorney you talk to about your case, or the attorney in the office, is actually going to show up and know your case. We're not just going to pass it on to some attorney that doesn't care about your case, that hasn't read anything about your case. We are going to know. It's either going to be me or somebody else in the office who actually talked to you about the case, and I have full access to your case online and in court. So, and that's all very important, because I've seen attorneys who don't know anything about the case, barely even know the name of the case, and they just show up because they're paid to show up that day, because big law firms have so many landlord tenant cases that they can't possibly do on their own. So they have, maybe hundreds of attorneys that work for them that just show up. And they don't know what to do. They're not properly prepared. There's a lot of good law firms too, obviously. And that's why we do everything in-house, okay? And again, visit one of our attorneys at evicttenantsla.com. We will meet you in person. Or like I said, sometimes, unfortunately, if I'm in court, we'll have to do it by Zoom, or I can call in or meet you on a weekend, okay? And again, this is Attorney Robert Doble, and I look forward to helping you. Thank you.